Well, hello there. Hello, hello, hello. This is Antoinette Marie. I hope that each and every one of you are doing so fantastic, so fantastic. Share this video on today. Listen, we have some awesomeness that is happening on today. Hold on one second. We have some awesomeness that's happening on today. I am so excited about this Power of Love series that I decided to take it upon myself to spread as much love in this world as absolutely possible. So, as I say, come on in the room. Hey, sis. Hey, sis. Shamika Willis, thank you for joining me on today. Please share this video because I truly, truly believe. Hey, Rosalind, beloved, beautiful. I truly believe that this is like no other live that I have actually done. I am very committed to this series. By the way, how was your day on today? Before I just go ahead and get into it, I hope that everybody is doing absolutely well and fantastic. This is Antoinette Marie Speaks. Thank you for joining me on today. Y'all, let's get ready. Let's get ready. But you know what I usually try to do? I'm going to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'll be right back.
Hello, beloved, and thank you for joining Antoinette Marie Speaks. On today's show, we're going to be speaking about the power of love. So journey with me and a few of my special guests as we walk you through the power of love. Welcome home, beloved.
Okay, so I want to say full disclosure. I want to thank Carrie Crosby for helping with that particular video. Carrie is a dynamic young woman, and I'm very grateful to have her in my life. And so today, we're going to be speaking about the power of love. And so I am so delighted to be speaking about this subject and speaking on this subject. So as I usually say, listen, call your girlfriend, call your guy friend, get your fiance on the phone, because this literally can be your date night, right? So this probably is not a conversation, full disclosure. It's not a conversation for young people under the age of 18. So I want to say that. And it is because we want young people to grow up very, very well. And with that being said, we don't want to spew anything that from our own past experiences on them. So I would say if you have children, let them go into the playroom on today, because we are speaking about the power of love. So today, my special guest is none other than the Aaron Booker. Whoa. So we have Mr. Booker that's going to be my special guest on today. And one of the things that I had stated before was that Mr. Booker is a filmmaker. He's a filmmaker, and he is the owner and CEO of Elemental Productions. Y'all, so listen, I'm sorry. He'll say what it is. I'm sorry. I see him in the green room. He's like, no, that's not the name. One of the great things about being on Antoinette Marie Speaks is, listen, we all are human. We make mistakes and we rectify them when we can. So we will rectify that whenever he gets on. So if you're ready, if you got your pen, you have your piece of paper, I want to say thank you to all of my Facebook friends as well as my YouTubers. Hey, YouTubers out there. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Shamika. Thank you for joining me on today. And Roslyn, thank you for joining me on today. So I say we get into it right now. So let me get Mr. Booker from our green room on today. Let's get him in there.
Oh, thank
Hello.
you for bringing me. Thank you for bringing me to say, hey, how you doing? Your assistant brought me out of the green room. Yeah. She let me bring this out of the green room too.
Hello, Mr. Booker. How are you today?
Good evening, Miss Antoinette Marie. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. So I want to first apologize because I said the name of your company incorrect. So will you talk a little bit about who you are? And I want to first say welcome to Antoinette Marie Speaks.
Thank you.
Will you speak a little bit about the name of your company and tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing?
So I'm currently turning down the music here, so I won't interrupt you. The name of the company is actually LE Mental Productions. So it's a play upon the word elemental with the letter L space E space mental. So just Elemental Productions. We are a full service media production company. However, we concentrate in the areas of film and filmmaking, corporate videos, promotional videos, things like that. I'm really trying to gear more towards filmmaking, cinematic themes.
Okay.
I really like living and playing in that space.
Wonderful. So today,
I'm gonna move the whole window over so like I'm looking at you when I'm looking at the camera, so it's not like
that's that filmmaker in you. Composition. So I want to say, first of all, thank you again for deciding that you would want to be on Antoinette Marie Speaks. So today we are going to be speaking about the power of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to have a quick conversation with you. So this is what I do know. I know that you are a divorcee, and tell me.
Out there like that?
Well, listen, you're on Antoinette Marie Speaks. Listen. We are very transparent here. So I won't tell your story. You tell your story initially, and then talk to us a little bit about what your journey has been, and really keeping it on the level of self-development and self-love, and speaking a little bit about the power of love.
So you said this was going to be short?
Yes.
Okay.
About an hour.
What's your definition of short? Self-development as a subtopic of the power of love.
Yeah, self-love. How do you cover that?
In the context of having love, lost love, and either wanting to love again.
Okay, there you go.
Right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I will say that it's crazy. You remember? I maybe it was just me serenading on the phone to the young woman, 11 o'clock at night, high school, dedicating the song that you're serenading, that you can't call in on the radio to serenade. Yeah, thinking that was love. Yeah. Yeah, and I could hold a note, so I would get the oh, you sound so good, oh, that's for me, and just thinking that's what love is. And years later, coming to understand it's just not that simple. It's not that simple because people are not that simple. as experience.
Mm-hmm.
Experience things, it just isn't that simple. When you actually find out what it is you like, what it is you think you need in terms of what love is supposed to provide. And I will touch on that because really, when you talk about relationships, my experience has been the longest lasting relationships are from the people who want to be there, not because they need something, but because they want to be there. So put a pin in that, backtrack. So as far as the definition of love, we tend to define things through our experiences. However, when it comes to love, marriage, relationships, we tend to first gravitate to what our environment has shown us.
Okay.
So if your parents or grandparents or aunt and uncles, whoever you revered at that time, really were together for that lifelong love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we can really get into that, especially when we talk about grandparents and things like that. Shush. Sorry, I have a dog. So shush. So when we looking at the environment that we're in at that point from those type of people, we see a level of commitment that today you would be hard pressed to find. Because back then they married for life. And just to be transparent here, you could have the husband could have a family right across the street, a whole other family right across the street that he had after he got married, and the wife is still there. The children actually know each other.
Yeah, I've seen something very similar to that. Mm-hmm.
And that's when your mama tells the boy, no, you cannot have her as a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why you can't have her, but you can't do that with her.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right.
I've seen that.
And believe it or not, as quiet as it's kept, that in itself is a whole subject matter. However, that was really prevalent amongst us back then. Showing up to the funeral, not knowing you had a half brother or half sister.
Sure. So Aaron, can you talk a little bit about like your own personal experience? I like what you said about, listen, Aaron, this is Antoinette Marie Speaks. And you're not going to come on here and take over my show now.
No, I'm not.
All right. But I like what you said about sometimes it's about what people want. Sometimes people get into a relationship or they'll say that it's love, but it's really not love. It's what I want to get out. So can you kind of go in that vein when it comes to your own personal relationships and what you really believe, like a thought what love was, or maybe it's the same?
Well, that's why I was going that route and ending it now. However, to qualify what I'm about to say in that subject, my environment, I actually saw both sides of the coin. I saw the level of commitment that love actually demands when you say you love somebody, because being in love with somebody and loving somebody are two separate things.
Tell us the difference.
The difference is being in love. This is how I characterize it. Being in love is the flowers, the butterflies, the starry eyes, the romantic moments, those things like that.
Okay.
Loving someone is going to bed with them even though you're angry and not leaving the house.
Okay.
Loving someone is in spite of their faults. Love covers a multitude of faults.
Okay.
And that word love in that context should also be attached to commitment, because that's what it is.
Okay. Did you experience that in your life? What kind of happened? Tell us the story. Tell us the tea now. Don't come up on here and be you so educated. It's just like thou sayest thee, thou winnest thou. We're not gonna do that. We
okay, so
today. Keep it kosher. Listen,
Okay.
whatever that is, let's do it. Let's go.
So, in terms of my own experience, one thing I learned was you cannot turn red flags pink.
Okay. What does that mean?
If you see something that is a deal breaker for you, unless you are willing to have the commitment to stay with that person, if they don't change the flag from red to pink themselves, you don't change it from red to pink. In other words, don't think they're going to change.
Wow.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. And that's even in relationships. And we tend to let our emotions and our wants and needs, and this is, I think, more to what you're asking for. We tend to let what we think we need in a relationship from a person blind us to those flags.
Wow.
That did happen to me. I did turn in my relationship some red flags pink, and it was after the fact. So I was willing to stick with that in terms of commitment wise. She, on the other hand, not so much.
Okay.
And I have to say that I do believe, because of how it went down, and I guess since you want to be transparent, I asked her to marry me. She turned me down.
Oh, wow.
We were already friends, so we remained friends. And she had a daughter that I was enamored with, and so I stuck around, friendship-wise. And then about 2 to 3 months later, she came back and asked me to marry her.
Hold on now, because we got people listen. So you're telling me that you asked her for her hand in marriage, and she said no, right?
Right. She said no.
And then she came back and asked you for your hand in marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't will you marry me? It was more like, can I answer you again, basically?
Okay.
Can I give you a different answer, basically?
I got you.
I'll characterize it like I will characterize it like that.
Okay.
And so I have to. So after the divorce, and 9 years later, I'm asking myself that very question in terms of what happened. I didn't change, because I didn't change. In that 3 months, I didn't do anything different. I didn't change who I was. I even reiterated to her that night, hey, this is who I am. This is what it is. This is how it's going to be. So are you sure? And she says yes. So the only thing I can come up with is that she turned her particular red flags pink.
So I love what you said about when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And I think people know that that's like a Maya Angelou. That's one of the quotes that I remember her saying. But I think it's very interesting what you said about she was showing you all of these red flags, but because of what you wanted, you decided that those red flags, you was going to just say, oh, those are not red flags. We're just going to turn those red flags pink.
I'm gonna give it time.
I'm going to give it time.
Okay. Will change. That behavior, behavior will change.
Okay, gotcha.
These red flags happened early on in our relationship. And I will say this to anybody, and I will scream it to you, and I'll tell you to your face. I don't care how much you don't like it. If you see red flags, go ahead and take the pain now, cut it off, and keep it moving.
Wow.
Because at the end of the day, the most important thing you will lose, and though you think you will lose emotion, the biggest thing you will lose is time.
Time.
And this goes into what are you getting married for? Because me, what I saw was someone I could build with. That's what I saw, someone that I could build with. I'm trying to build an empire. I am working for the endless summer, whereas I feel she was working for the weekend.
Oh, wow.
And so already you have a disconnect.
Sure.
However, I thought that was a disconnect that over time, because of what I saw in her as far as being a builder and where we could build together, I felt that was something that could change. Or maybe I was not the one she wanted to build with.
Sure. And that's fair. And that could definitely possibly be that. So on today's show, I want to kind of take everything that you've said and talk about like currently where you are and how strong the power of love is. So when we talk about or think about the power of love, we're really saying, listen, I've had some really crazy stuff that has happened to me in my life, which you really just spoke about. But with all of that being said, I do believe in the power of love. I do believe that there's someone that's out there that's waiting for this king. There's somebody out there. So talk a little bit about where you are and your hope when it comes to the true power of love.
I am a hopeless romantic. I am a hopeless romantic. I want love to win, period. I really do. Am I shell-shocked? Do I really want to get married right now? I don't know. To be totally transparent, I don't know. I mean, I dipped a toe out there, and it doesn't. For me being who I am, where I want to go, what I am building, I don't know. I just don't know. Now, I say that with this caveat. The heart wants what it wants.
What does that mean?
You can't help who you love or who you're attracted to.
I want to know from my audience, do you believe that statement? Do you agree with that? Like Aaron said, you can't, the heart loves who the heart loves. You can't get outside of who you fall in love with. So, if you all can put some things in the comment section, I do see some of things that you're saying. We're going to talk about those a little bit.
Now, those of you that are commenting, I want you to be real with yourself. Don't talk about, I'm talking about that one that in your quiet time, even though your boo is next to you, and you know this is what you want, but that one. And if your boo is that one, that's even great. That's great. That's exactly what I'm talking about. However, for those of you that are with a boo, however, there is still that one. That one. That's what I'm talking about. And I say this, I qualify this statement by saying, you have a first love for a reason. You have a first love for a reason because your first love taps into something in you. You don't know what you don't know. And when you get your first, you now know. And from that point on, it's a discovery after that heartbreak. It's a discovery of what was it about that I liked or wanted, and what else through my life, through my experiences, can I put with that?
Okay, so I got a question. Well, this is a question from the audience. So the elephant in the room. So what happened in your relationship? And I've got to put a quick disclosure. I'm putting a disclosure there because we want to support and cover individuals. We will not say anybody's name, so on and so forth. That is Antoinette Marie Speaks. I am not responsible for Aaron Booker and what he speaks out of his mouth. Yeah. So I just want to say that with love. So somebody asked, so did you two get married or did you not get married?
Oh no, we got married.
Okay. You
No,
did.
no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not the. No, we got married. No,
Okay.
we got married. We did the 9. We had it was a beautiful beach wedding.
Okay.
We all ran into the water together afterwards.
Oh, that's
It was wonderful. It was beautiful. Yeah. So no, we did get married.
okay. Wonderful. So tell me this. Do you believe in the power of love? I guess that's the question.
Yes, I do. Like I said, I want love. I'm a helpless romantic. I want love to win all the way around. Those people that are talking about divorce, I would rather you try to find a way to be together, because having been there,
Mm-hmm.
you have your irreconcilable differences.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are the red flags. Those are the deal breakers. But then you got a lot of pink flags that were turned red. Now, a pink flag versus a pink flag versus a red flag. A red flag is just a deal breaker. No go, no bueno, stop, turn around, run the other way. A pink flag is something that you can work with. A pink flag has the ability to change and most likely will change.
Question. So what is a pink flag? Now, you're coming from your perspective. What was one of your pink flags that you said, hey, I can live with this?
Number one reason for divorce: finances. Talked about getting a joint bank account.
Okay, that was a pink flag.
That was a pink flag because it was early.
Okay.
And it was a pink flag because when the discussion came up, it was first there was pushback, and then there was, let me think about it. And then there was, okay, let's test it out this way before going to that. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that test failed, it became a red flag because it was never revisited. It wasn't going to be done.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, well, and the mindset, and this was the red flag. This was the ultimate red flag. This was before the marriage. This was the red flag.
Mm-hmm.
My money is my money. Your money is my money.
Ooh. Hold on now, ladies, let me say this because I've heard this so many times where from the male perspective and also from the female's perspective, where like, you know, that money thing can cause a lot of havoc in a relationship.
That's the number one reason people get divorced.
Yeah. And so you have this thing where, you know, you hear people say, listen, my money is my money and your money is my money. Now we know that's not going to ever work. We know that's, first of all, it ain't right. That's the first thing. And we know that it's not going to work. So question, Aaron. So are you currently married? I'm asking questions that my audience is asking.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. So you were married. So now you're single.
My divorce was finalized in 18.
Okay. All right. So it's 20.
I'm 2 years. And I say it was finalized in 18. However, It started.
We don't need to know when it started. We don't need to know when it started at all. We just, okay. So that's the thing. And so when we're talking about today, because I want us to kind of bring it back into focus about the power of love. So through everything that you've gone through, where you have looked at and seen red flags, you saw red flags and you decided to turn them pink for whatever the reason is. So now you're at a point in your life where you're saying, hey, I'm open, to a loving relationship, because you do believe in the power of love. Do you believe that there is someone? Because here's the thing that I always say is that we as humans, we decide on who we want to love. This is Antoinette Marie. We decide on who we want to love in the aspect of the commitment level, or if I'm going to commit myself to that particular individual. And it is our choice. It still is a choice, I believe. It still is a choice. So talk to the audience a little bit about why you still believe in the power of love. Because that's what we're talking about. Love is a powerful thing. Love can heal. Love can make somebody say, you know what? I'm a compromise on this situation. And sometimes that compromising could be, this is how I used to be, or I used to do things on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I'm going to compromise because now I'm in a relationship with someone that I love, right? So love makes you compromise. So talk a little bit about where you are in your life right now and how much you believe in the power of love.
I do believe in the power of love. I do want to get married. She don't have to be something special. She don't have to be. Now, do we make our own? Do we make our own choices in who we marry, or who we choose to commit to? Yes, we do. If God is going to give you, is there someone perfect for you? Yes, there is. Yes. Can you choose your own mate? Yes, you can. If God gives you a choice of whether or not to accept his son, why would he not give you a choice in who you accept as a wife? Now, should you consult him first? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to segue in it to a special way, but I forgot. I do believe that marriage is a contract.
Okay.
And if we want to talk about it on a spiritual level, which we are apt to do,
mm-hmm.
Of course, it is wives, submit to your man.
Oh, Lord.
However,
okay.
I'm going to say the complete. I'm going to give it complete.
Thank you.
Wives, submit to your husband as he follows God. Men, love your wives as Christ did the church.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there. Stop right there.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
that's all that needs to be said.
There you go.
That's all that needs to be said. So as I love her, and you have to understand, as I love her, women being the receptacles that they are,
mm-hmm.
will then give you,
mm-hmm.
will blossom and grow something to honor the love that you've given them.
Okay.
The problem is, what is that love? And that's where we get into love languages.
Okay. Do you believe that your heart is healed from your first marriage?
No.
And
no. I am not. Okay. I can be transparent and say I am not ready to jump into a marriage, mm-hmm. or Now, if I if I choose to have a relationship that will lead to that, then so be it. However, I am not at a point right now where I am looking for a relationship to turn into marriage. I am not opposed to it. However, I am not. No, I'm not. I'm like. Hey, let's just be honest. In my demographic, in terms of age, I'm not gonna say what my age is, but in my age bracket, there is a lot that women are going to bring along with them in terms of experiences, children, and things of that nature. And just being totally transparent, I don't know how I want to move in that space. I don't know how I want to move there. I don't know if I want to. I want to have my own kids. I don't, as far as my own biological.
Sure. And I think this is a really good conversation because sometimes you don't get individuals that actually will have this type of conversation and say, listen, I really want to have my own children. I want to have children with my wife. And depending on the age of, a woman, she may just say, listen, I don't want to have children anymore. I've had children.
Right.
I don't no longer want to have them. And I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where men have said, listen, I already have, children, and those children may be already adult children. And then individuals and the woman would say, yeah, listen, I want to, that's an expression of
exactly
love
for you
and for us together. So I totally get that, and I totally understand that. And I'm very thankful for you having, you being so transparent with, your life experience and the realness of like, this is where my life was. No, I am not seeking, I'm not seeking for, for a woman. I'm not like on the prowl, but if God, if I'm in a relationship or if I'm dating someone and I'm consulting God and God says, yes, this is your wife, do you believe that you would be open to that?
Oh yeah, if that was the case. However, now I got to refer to Boaz and Ruth. I mean, Ruth was working. Boaz was looking. He was looking for that. It's not, let's be real. You ain't just walking through the field just to be walking through the field. you got, every once in a while you may do that, but come on. He's walking through the field. He's asking questions. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, that's I'm not, really, I'm open to dating. I'm open, of course, because it's always good to have female companionship. But as far as whether or not, and just being transparent, as far as whether or not I'm not looking to put a ring on nobody's finger because I'm not ready. It's not because of them. I feel like, and it was 9 years, just so y'all know, since I'm being open, just so y'all know, it was 9 years. 9 years.
Yeah.
And that's a lot when I look at what I do as a career, what I could have done with the right one in those 9 years, as opposed to where I am now, I'm back at square one. So, and that's why, and that's another reason why it's like, I don't even want to try to waste somebody else's time, because if you can't see me, despite what's in front of you, if you can't see the vision, you can't follow me while I'm following God, there's no reason for us to be together. It just ain't gonna help. There's no reason. It's not.
And I thank you for that. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that one of the things that a lot of women. So for me personally, I was married for a long time, then was single, and then I got married again, thank God. But I think that many women want a man to say and be able to express what is the vision. I think that's a lot of times what happens is that women want a vision. This is what I know. This is literally what I know for sure. Women, we will, if a man gives us a vision, if a man speaks something, and I'm saying specifically when it comes to husband and wives, if a man speaks something, a woman will make sure that it takes place.
Well, damn, maybe I just wasn't clear. I just wasn't clear.
So I want to say this to you.
In 9 years, I just wasn't clear. My communication skills must have been just trash.
Well, you know what? That's not necessarily true. Sometimes it is, I know for myself personally, I know I am a wife. Some people don't want to be wives. And we have to just call that what it is. Some people want to just be taken care of. And I don't, if you just want to be taken care of, I would say don't get married if that's all you want, because marriage is a commitment. You have to get to a point where you say, you know what, I'm going to love this individual. And I've said this about my husband. I love my husband for no reason. There's nothing that he can do more for me. There's nothing else that he has to prove to me. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of substance or anything. It is my choice. So I love him for no reason at all.
Would you love him to a pissy mattress?
I don't know what that means.
If you lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And let me tell you this. You said if I lost everything. When I got divorced, I lost everything. I lost everything. I was homeless. I was an executive, literally getting dressed. When I tell you homeless, that means I slept in my car whenever I went and I stayed in hotels for weeks. I was getting dressed, had my suit and my so on and so forth. And I was going to work early so that I can go and, kind of take a bath. We know what type of bath we're talking about. Just kind of, taking a bath. So yes, I lost everything. And when I tell you everything, it was parcel. It was, I was a landlord, or they called a landlord. I had rental properties. So, and I didn't do that for my husband. That's just how my life went. But I want to say this to you, beloved. I want to say this because when I hear you speak, I do believe that eventually you will be open to loving again. However,
yeah,
it is your choice. It is your choice. And just like it was my choice, it was my choice. So a lot of people would say, man, you were married for, talking about myself, you were married for over 23 years. And then you decided to get married. It was amazing. I had some people say to me, oh no, girl, you need to go out here and just live your life, live your best life, so on and so forth. But I knew within myself. So here's the self-love piece. I knew that there were some things that I needed to get together within my own self. I knew that he was not just the reason why our marriage didn't necessarily work. I had a part to play in that. And so after you've gone through the divorce, after you have had time to reflect and to meditate, for me, then I knew, like, listen, I'm ready. I'm ready. And I am ready to embrace the power of love, because love is a fantastic thing. I would not take, that experience, and everybody has that story, perhaps of, love that was lost, or some of us where we thought that really was love, or I loved her and she didn't necessarily love me. So we have that heartbreak story. But what I also want to say is that on the opposite side of that heartbreak story, I truly believe if you want to be with someone, if you want to be married, if you want to be in a committed relationship, if you want somebody to wake up to you in the morning in a marriage and say, you know what, I just loved it at you. Oh, you, and they have not brushed their teeth at all, not one time. I believe that there is someone for you if you want it. if you want it, because I truly believe that is the power of love.
Can I say this?
Sure.
What you just said when you said yes, what that was commitment. That's the power of love. That's when we talk about love, we can talk about love on social, we can talk about personal, we can talk about it on family, we can talk about relationship, we can talk about God. And actually, your statement and that commitment mirrors God's love. So when we talk about the power of love, you first have to really understand the commitment it takes and the actions it takes to display love. Love is not just the feeling, the flutter of your heart, or the heat down below, or the stars in the eyes. Or love is staying when it's uncomfortable to be there. Now, once again, when we get to that point, when we start talking about staying when it's uncomfortable, you then have to look at self-love. Okay? And if it does get too uncomfortable, then you have to love yourself enough and love that person enough to say, hey, I can't be here because I can't serve you. It's a disservice for me to stay here and lock you in when I can't be of service to you. I am not in the practice of keeping someone that don't want to be kept. And I have to, and in this situation, in my situation, it was just to the point where, okay, you decide. And she did. I said, okay, fine. I love you enough to let you go. Because I know anything that I would do to satisfy those red flags would not be, this is the level of self-love. I wouldn't be authentic with myself. If I can't be authentic with myself, then I can't be authentic with you.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm looking at some of the comments, and I see Rosalind says communication. Communication is, I don't know what it, ginormous. Yes, it is. Communication is ginormous. However, there's verbal communication, and I touched on this earlier. There's verbal communication, and then there's the love language. What is the love language? And that's what you got to recognize, because when I was talking about the pink flags, the pink flags, not the red flags, but the pink flags, those can be settled by understanding what your partner's love language is. Some people need, they feel the need to be acknowledged by their spouses. They need that acknowledgement, that time. I need to be next to you. I need that. Some people need that physical. If you don't touch me and you don't tell me you love me, then I don't know if you love me. And then others just need for you to just be there. You know? And you have to learn the love language of your partner. If you do that, or your spouse, when you do that, that allows the communication to be even better. That's when you get into that nonverbal space where you know what they're thinking, or you know what they're going to do next, because you understand what their love language is. Okay.
So tell us, because we've been on here for about 50 minutes. So
has it been 50 minutes?
Yes, it has. So tell us what's next.
Great. Time just flew.
It did. It always does.
I'm not even at half a bottle.
You might need to just okay. But so tell us what's next for you. You know, when it comes to love and when it comes to self-love, tell us what's next for Aaron Booker.
Self-love, what's next in terms of love? First is I don't think I'm ready for her. Me and God, I went and hung out with God for a minute. You know, we had a nice time to talk.
Okay.
So, you know how everything went down. I need you to help me be ready for her. So, like I said, I feel like because in the demographic that I'm in, though I bring a lot to the table, I don't think I am going to bring what is necessary.
Well, let me say this.
And I know it depends on the woman. I know that. I know that. It's just, yeah, you can only speak to your experience, you know.
I get it 100%.
And I'm not walking out through the field looking while she's working. I'm not looking, you know. So it's like I might see her and miss her because I'm not really.
I get it.
I'm just in a weird. I'm just in a weird relationship type vibe status right now.
I get it. So this is the thing, and that's fair. And it's nothing like knowing where you currently are. And I think that that's really a positive thing. And I think that women want to know that. Like, nobody wants to be in a relationship or even meet somebody when you know that you're not ready. Like, let's not play the game.
Right.
Let's not even, don't, let's just not.
Yeah.
So I think that most individuals, male or females, they would appreciate, the other individuals say, listen, I'm not even really looking for a relationship at all. I'm not ready to get married at all. And I think a lot of times when that doesn't happen, women or men will say, hey, you kind of playing games. And so I think that that's a good thing. I think that that's a good thing. But I also would say this. As I said before, love is a commitment, and the power of love, I believe, is so strong because I've seen it for myself. I know for myself personally, and I'll tell this story maybe even next week. I was not looking to get married again. I knew that I was a wife, but I was not seeking to get married because I'm not a hunter. That's the first thing. I was doing good all by myself, right? But I will tell you this, when someone comes for you, come up in this house today, but I'm gonna hold my mule today. There are just certain things where the commitment level to another individual, where you know that you are committed to this person in spite of whatever. And sometimes I've even seen where a commitment can be greater even than the love, the romantic love. And there's nothing wrong with romantic love. I'm not discounting that at all, none whatsoever. But I appreciate the fact that you saying that I do believe in the power of love. And being that you do believe in the power of love, and I believe in the power of love, I'm going to say this, I'm going to speak this to you. When and if you are ready, I believe that God will show you who your wife is, right? I truly believe it. Ain't me.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
I believe somebody on this stream.
Oh, I trust.
It's a joke. But I'm saying that when you are ready and you will be able to have those conversations with Most High and with God and say, listen, I know that I wasn't ready a year ago. And I think it's so important. And the reason why I wanted you to be the first guest on the show was because that self-love piece is so important. A lot of times as individuals, when they start to date, they go past the self-love. They just want to be in, quote, in love. And some people just don't want to be in love. They're just lusting. They just, you
gotta know, in terms of the self-love part, you gotta know what you want, not what you need, because you shouldn't need anything. In any relationship you get into, it's not about a need. It shouldn't be about a need. It's about a want. I want to be here. I want to be here.
Yes.
I don't need anything from you. I don't need to give you happiness.
Yeah.
You don't get your happiness from me.
Yeah.
My job is to provide the environment for you to be happy. My job is to work towards that. My job is to not take away your happiness. My job is to augment something that is already there. I can't be responsible for your joy. I'm not responsible for your joy. I'm not responsible for your happiness.
That's true.
I can cause you to be happier. I can cause you to be more joyful, but I can't provide that for you. That should already be there. Consequently, I shouldn't make you angry. I shouldn't do anything to tear you down. And that's where we should be. You come into a marriage, you come into a relationship, a marriage whole. Whole. It's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's 100-100.
Now you're talking, Aaron Booker. See, you should have been on this side of this conversation.
What? Absolutely. That's not how you had to get there, and then you talk about it's my show. I'm trying to get there.
It's definitely mine. It's definitely mine. But I appreciate what you're saying, because you're absolutely right. You know, it's difficult to come if I'm saying to my husband, and I have the expectation, you complete me. You have to already be complete.
Yeah. And now understand that word, because that's a very famous line. And when Tom Cruise said it, that tugged me, and I was like, yeah. No, I get that. However, let's keep it in context. That in context, when you say complete me, because we are meant to be one, because you are supposed to have another with you, are you incomplete? As your own person, yes. As the unit as the unit that you are supposed to be, no. So in that aspect, yes, that's the addition. You may think like when you're 100, when you're 100% together. What I mean by that, let me define that just a little bit more, just so not to cause any confusion. When I say you're supposed to be 100, you know who you are. You know who you are in yourself. I can I can stand here and tell you flat-footed what I say, how I'm going to say it, and then if anyone comes back and says you said this, I said what I said. Instead of, well, maybe being authentically you, in spite of understanding that I have an issue and I need to get help before I come to be with you and think that you're going to help me. You can't help me. I can't take care of it myself. You can't help me. What you're going to help me do is overlook it. What you're going to help me do is mask it. What you're going to help me do is put it to the background when I should be able to deal with it. So when we talk about a complete person, when you're a complete person, you understand yourself, and nobody can tell you who you are or how you should be. You're understanding you. No one can do you but you. Now, are you still complete though? In terms of what you need, or in terms of serving your purpose, in terms of what you're building, in terms of how your life is going to turn out? Well, we already see that example, and we'll go back to Adam and Eve, because if it was just about you being complete, then it would just be Adam and God. Instead, he put Eve there, and Eve wasn't just to help me either. And I'm gonna go a bit deep here, if I can, on your show.
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. I'll take 2. Eve was not just a helpmeet. Eve was not just Adam's partner. Eve was a replacement for God when he was not present.
Now,
I'm gonna let that sink in.
listen. Now, you done said something.
Yeah,
We can have hey,
it says it in there.
this is
Man
this
should
no
not be
conversation.
alone. He looked down when he was not there. Adam wasn't nowhere crying. It wasn't like Adam was somewhere crying. Adam was most likely doing what he was supposed to do, tending and naming, taking care of his duties. But he said it's not good for man to be alone. The good for man to be alone was because he was not there. So what did he have to do? He had to provide a stand-in. Now that's not a small, even though it sounds like it, that's not a small thing. To be a stand-in or in theater when you have a backup, your understudy. That is not a small thing. Why? Because the understudy needs to do everything that the original person needs to do. The stand-in has to look like, act like, move like the person they are standing in for. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there.
I get it. I do. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And so
To be complete, and when you look at it through that lens, to be complete at that point is to always have that is in the presence, to always have the presence with you physically when you can't trace them, see them, or hear them.
Well, I would say this. I want to thank you for being on Antoinette Marie Speaks as the first individual on our 5-part series called The Power of Love.
It was my pleasure and honor. It was my honor first. Second.
And this is what I want to say to you. With everything that I've heard you say, I think that you are a gentleman. And I believe that if and ever you decide that you want to have the desire to be married, have a fantastic marriage and wife, I believe that when it is the time that you want, that you will find her. I truly, truly believe that. And I'm all 100% into self-love and knowing who you are and being whole first before you come into a relationship that then turns into a marriage, because we have out here already so many incomplete families that are no longer together. I totally get it. But I will say, I believe that we can do better. And sometimes all we need is some support, a little bit of hand holding, and some really, really great advice from individuals that care for us, that love us, that can mentor us and show us the way to be and the way to go. Sometimes even, mostly through their own experience. And so I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for allowing me to have a voice on your program and on your space. Can I say just one more thing?
You got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's why when I was talking about woman being a replacement for God, that's why God tells man to love woman. He does not direct woman to love man.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You said that for all the guys.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely.
For all the guys. So I appreciate you, sir. And thank you again. So let's give Mr. Aaron Bucker a really great round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And when you're ready, she'll be right there. All right.
Yeah.
She'll be right there. So, all right. You guys stay on. I'm going to put Mr. Booker back in the green room and give me a second.
Okay. They're here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go back to
All right, y'all. So I want to say thank y'all for being patient and being on here today. This is the thing about live television. I'm sorry. Look at me speaking things into existence. I said live television. Y'all, I'm going to have my own television show. Somebody already said that I was like Barbara Walters. Listen, I'll take Barbara Walters, Rosalind Malone. I will take being that. Don't worry about it. I will. So I want to thank Aaron for being on. I think he did a really great job. I know he was a little bit nervous, but who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? So next week, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time just to kind of talk a little bit more about the power of love and how love has so much potential to help, to heal, to make sure that you're taken care of. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that from my own perspective. My hubby may join in. I'm not sure. I've said you guys before, he's very much an introvert. And he's like, if you're on live social media, both of us don't need to be on live social media. So I get it. I get it 100%. What I do want to say is that if you have a husband or you have a wife, beloved, please let them know that they are important to you. Please let them know that you love them. And love is something sometimes that can't always be explained. And sometimes you just have to say to your spouse, listen, there's nothing that you can do to stop me from loving you. Because a little bit about what Aaron was saying, the love that God showed us. Listen, what kind of love was that? There's nothing that we could do that we deserve it, right? There's nothing that we could do that we could say, well, I deserve for God to do this. No, God loved us because we have him within us, right? And so I want to say that to you. I want to say, be steadfast in your love, right? Let your spouse, let your husband and wife know that you love them. You know what I did today? Let me tell y'all what I did. So my mom-in-law had, and we really don't say mom-in-laws, but she retired today after 32 years working for one company. And so I went and got her all these balloons and got her a really nice card. But let me show you and demonstrate to you what love does. So while I was in that store, focused on my mom, hey, Karen, I said, you know what? And today is October 2nd. And so I said, this is the power of love, y'all. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get my husband a card for no reason at all. For no reason at all. Listen, and let me tell y'all something. You don't have to get a $10 card. You can get a $4.95 card just to be able to show and to demonstrate how much you love somebody, right? You can write him a letter. You can write her a letter, a short little note. That's you demonstrating your love for absolutely no reason. So for me, there's nothing that my husband can do. There's nothing that he can do to make me love him anymore, because it was my choice. I'm committed. And we have to get committed, right? We have to get committed. And yeah, crazy stuff happens absolutely all the time. But there comes a point in a time in your life where you are mature enough and you say, listen, I'm in it to win it. And my husband and I, we say this, we're in this for life. Come heaven or high water, we're in it for life. And so I want to thank you so much. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Shamika. Thank you, Rosalind. I appreciate you being on here on today. I was looking for more men to be on here. I guess, I don't know. Aaron might have scared all the men away. But I want to say thank you, Tracy, for being on here today. And Karen, thank you for being on here, beloved. I appreciate you. And so as you go throughout your day, I know today is Friday. Thank you, Anthony. I had one strong brother. That was Anthony Williams to be on here on this evening. So as you go throughout your day today, at the end, because it's already 8 o'clock some places, it's 7 something here, just always remember that love is a powerful, powerful thing. Love can help, support, and love can heal. And we always hear this, that love is kind, love is patient, love does not want to see you harmed. Love covers, and love, yes, love heals. So I want you in the next couple weeks to take this journey with me as we speak about the power of love. I have two fantastic married couples, one that has been married almost 50 years, y'all. And they're going to come on and talk about and help us, young folk, and speak about their best life and how did they sustain their love that they have for one another for such a long time, almost 50 years, over 45 years. And so I want to leave you with this. I hope that you do exactly what you have intended to do. Have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Love on your spouse. Love on your children as well. This is Antoinette Marie Speaks. I hope to see you next week as we speak about the power of
Hello,
love.
beloved, and thank you for joining Antoinette Marie Speaks. On today's show, we're going to be speaking about the power of love. So journey with me and a few of my special guests as we walk you through the power of love. Welcome home, beloved.
Today, I wanted to just take a little bit of time just to let you know that you are important and that I love you. And if nobody ever has said it to you, you're going to hear it from me today. You're beautiful, you're handsome, you're divine. This is Antoinette Marie.